We were able to get Senator Paul to come tonight because he wanted to be a part of this Spirit of Reagan Award. When I told him about it and I told him what we're doing, he agreed to come. And our honoree tonight is Susie Eckelkamp. If you've been involved in the Republican Party in Missouri in the last 25 years, you've probably seen Susie or worked with Susie or seen her work. Starting in the early 80s, she was active in the Young Republicans and led that group, was a national committee woman for the Young Republicans. She worked over the late 80s and into the 90s for the administrations in Washington. She was an advanced team person, was involved in that. She's a businesswoman who's been involved in a number of different businesses in the area. But if you know her, you know what she has is just what Senator Paul described. No matter how serious the moment, she comes over the hill with a smile. And I don't know about a song, Susie. Maybe you could sing tonight. Maybe not. But she's someone who's a bright face and has been a bright star for the party. And for the last 8 years, she's toiled. And I mean, it's not an easy job to be vice chair or secretary of the party. There's a lot of details and a lot of, as Senator Paul said, a lot of times half the people are happy and the other half are unhappy, or more like 2/3 are unhappy and the other third have gone away. So Susie's been involved, and she comes from a great family here in our area, and we're just so honored that she received the award. And tonight we have, and the Spirit of Reagan Award, we have a piece of the Berlin Wall, which we were able to get for her, that will remind her. On this side on the back, it's the phone number of the party, so she can call and get her instructions on what she has to do. But it's my great privilege and honor to call her a friend. It's also my great privilege and honor as chairman on behalf of the Republican Party to present Susie Eckelkamp with the first Spirit of Reagan Award. Susie? Throw it.
Wow. That's cool. Thank you. First of all, can you hear me? No. I've been told I'm a quiet talker, so you may have to listen to me very closely. I want to thank, first of all, Senator Paul for coming out for us this evening, and of course, my friend, Senator Blunt, who has been my friend. I told him earlier, I think he was a young Republican with me, but he said no. It's been a long time. I've known him since I started in politics, and he's a wonderful person besides being a great senator, and I thank him for that. Obviously, I want to start by saying I thank you for this special honor. And as I look back at the 30-some odd years that I've done volunteer advance work and volunteer work in the party, I think of the days of working in those campaign headquarters and stuffing envelopes and actually having to lick them shut. That was crazy. I think about all the phone banks and the meetings and the miles in the air and the miles on my car. And I also think of the many friends and the volunteers that I've met and worked with over the years. Many of you are in this room, and many of you are also equally deserving of this award. And honestly, I think this is going to be a tradition, so I don't feel so bad because there's going to be somebody else that's going to get it after me. But I just want to say thank you again for giving it to you this evening. It's ironic that this be called the Spirit of Reagan Award because the very first event that I ever did was an event with President Reagan. It was 1986, and Kit Bond was running for Senate for the very first time. And those of you, some of you in this room may have been there, I think a lot of you actually, it was at Union Station, and President Reagan was coming in to help him raise money. Well, they put me in charge of organizing all the volunteers, finding places to put them. I had to find the volunteers first and then organize them. And then we ran a phone bank for about 10 days prior to dial for dollars for the event and to get people drummed up to come. Well, back in those days, presidents didn't travel nearly as much as they do now. Really, they don't. And President Reagan, when he came out, it was a huge deal. So we had a great event at Union Station. And I was content to be standing in the hallway, watching people come and go and thinking, man, this is going great, this is really running smoothly. And I was really surprised. Haley Barber, a lot of you know who Haley Barber is, walked up and took me by the arm and he said, you're going to get to go in and meet the president. And I was a 20-year-old kid, and a 27-year-old kid, really excited and thrilled. And I got to go in, and Mrs. Reagan was actually on the trip as well. She traveled with him quite a bit back then. And I got my photo with him, and I can tell you the man had a presence, and I think most of you know that. He had a huge presence about him. Ronald Reagan's legacy was his optimism. It was his optimism and his unbridled belief in the spirit of the individual. That's the same principle that unites us as a party today. We still believe that. Now, we all know that we have a lot of work to do. But I believe that just as Ronald Reagan did, that in America, anything is possible. I remember reading once that Ronald Reagan had this little plaque. It was a little bronze plaque, and he took it and he put it on every desk he ever had, including his 8 years in the Oval Office. And that plaque simply said, "It can be done." Well, if we stand together as a party with the optimism of Ronald Reagan, and if we articulate a clear vision and a working plan for success for the American people, we can do anything. I want to thank you for coming tonight and supporting the Missouri Republican Party. And I want to thank you for this very first, very special honor. Thank you.